Hello everyone. Once again I welcome all of you to BISP Self-Learning Video Broadcast Solution. My name is Sumit and I'm going to cover a very interesting topic in Salesforce, that is how to add dynamically data into a pick list on a VisualForce page. So let me demonstrate you the business requirement. So my business requirement is, as you can see here, that's a VisualForce page, and in this VisualForce page we have got various fields. We have got this field name, email ID, city, mobile number and country. The values in this country, the list of this country, this is populating from a pick list value which is available in this country object. And whenever the user select the country from here, let's suppose if a user select India, so the value in this city, it will be auto populated based on the cities or according to the countries here. So if a user select India or UAE or China, so according to the selection the customer made here, so based on the selection this city pick list will be populated. The values in this city pick list will be added, and all these, the countries and the city data, it is available in this country object. So let me show you first of all this thing, that how it looks like. So for this, so you can see here I have got this country object. In this country object, when I clicked on new, you can see here we have a city name. We need to enter city name here and the country. So I have already, these countries are predefined, so we need to predefine the countries here, and we need to add the cities into that country. So we already have got 3 records. As you can see here we have Dubai, Shanghai and New Delhi. So if I select city name Dubai, it belongs to countries UAE. If I go back to country and Shanghai, so its country is China, and if I'll go back to New Delhi, if I click on New Delhi, its country is India. So let's add a new record here. So I click on new and add a new record. I add Mumbai and set its country to India. So according to this, now we have got two cities here, and Mumbai and New Delhi, whose country is India. Shanghai is the country, the city Shanghai, whose country is China, and the city Dubai, whose country is UAE. Now we need to create this kind of page or VisualForce page, and here whenever a user change the country, let's suppose if I select UAE, it will populate the, we need to refresh it. So you can see it's Dubai. If user set the country to India, it populate the Mumbai and New Delhi. So we can say that this city is, the field in this city or the value of this city is dependent on this country. So whatever the customer or the client made a selection here, based on that the city will be added dynamically. So this we need to do dynamically by using a VisualForce page. So let's create a new VisualForce page and try to do the same thing, try to implement the same thing in Salesforce. So I'm going to create a new page here, VisualForce page, and I give a name to this, a VisualForce page. Create this VisualForce page. So my first requirement will be, I need to create the fields in this. So let's create a field here. First display the fields here. So I write here, in this I use standard controller, and I'm going to use candidate object. So I write candidate underscore underscore C, and extensions sample set. Then I create apex colon form tag. In this form tag I'm going to write apex colon page block and give one title to this, add a title to this, candidate details, and mode set to edit. It means it will be editable. Then I add one page block section, and in this section we add the values. So I add apex colon input text, value is equal to, first is I want to show name, and I set a label as well. Label is equal to name. Then I want more fields. So if you see this candidate, we have got fields here. We have got candidate name, and I want first name, mobile number, email ID, country and city. I don't want last name, date of birth, but if it is required by you, or if it's a client requirement, you can do that. So I'm going to use last name, and we want first name, mobile number, email ID, because these are mandatory, these are always required, so we need to add them, country and city. So 1 2 3 4 5. So 1 2 3 4 5, and I add here. So second is, let's say, phone. We have got phone, and label is mobile number. Then we have got email ID. Label is email ID, and I set its value to email. Then we have this, I'll remove them, and these two additional fields I'm going to add in a page block section item. So I add apex colon page block section item in a separate item, and here I add apex colon output label, value is equal to country, and in this output label, that's output label. So I'll do one thing, I'll set it self-closing tag here. I'll set it self-closing tag output label. After that, I add here apex colon a select list. I add a select list and set its size to 1, and the value from where it's getting the data, I set its value to country. And in this select list, we need to add values into this select list, or records into this. So I add apex colon select list options, and value is equal to, I'll add a value to here, country job. And along with that, in this select option, so it's a self-closing tag, I set it to self-closing, and I add one action support. So add one action support to this. Action support event is equal to on change. To know more about action support, please visit my previous video. In my existing videos, I have already explained what is an action support and how to use it, and what's the use of this action support. So I use re-render and give a name here, cities. So that's the select list, and this page block section item is closed here. So again, I'm going to create a new page block section item, apex colon page block section item, and in this section item, I'm going to create a new list, apex colon output label, and set the value to city, make it self-closing tag. Then again, we need a list. So let's do one thing, instead of writing it again, I'll copy it and paste it here. Only thing is, we don't want this action support, so I remove this, and this thing, instead of country, I set it to cities, and instead of country job, I set it to city. It should be OBJ actually, country OBJ. So this select list is closed here. Then we have page block section item is closed. Then I'm going to add one button here. So I add here apex colon and this page block section. Okay, so this select list closed here, this page block section item closed here, and this section item closed here, After this section item, I add one apex colon page block buttons, and within this I add one command button, apex colon command button, set a value to save, and add an action, and this action will be going to override in our controller class. Action, and I write record insert. So now when I try to save this, or if I'll save it, I'll get an error message. Obviously because we don't have this extension available, so it will throw an error message to us. And first of all, we'll be going to click that sample set extension or controller class. I create this, again got an error, or it's a standard controller constructor error. So I clicked on this, so it will create a new constructor automatically here. So this will you will get once if you use an extension, we need to create this constructor. Now in this controller class or in Apex class, first of all I initialize few variables. First is country, get and set the values, public, and I need to copy it multiple times because I need country, city, name, phone, and email. So because we have got name, phone, email, country, and city, so we need to initialize them or define them first of all. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then I set this for this. I set this for city. This I set for name. This I initialize phone, and here I initialize email. And one more variable I need to initialize, that is the candidate object. I create a new candidate instance and get and set. We are not going to create anything in this constructor, so I'm going to create a new function here. So I create here public list select option, and as you can see here, our first requirement is we need to display this city here. If I'll show you this right now, if I'll save it, just a second, if I'll save it, right. So now my requirement is, as you can see here, we have created first list here, that is the list, and this list will display the records of country, all the available country from here itself, from this country. So I would like that this country, all the available countries here, the added countries here, I would like to display in a list box. So for that I need to create, increase the font size, and I write public create a list type, select option, and get, it should be same, so get, and I copy this from here, get country job. So this will return the value, get country job, and obviously it will return a value because there is a return type. So what type of value it will return? It will return select option, options is equal to new list select option, and if I simply write return options and save it, so you can see here I have added three functions here. First is to get the country job, and it will return list select option. Same we have got the get city job, so this function will return the selected city into this list. And there is one more function for record insert. So whenever user clicked on this button, we have got a button save button, and when user clicked on this button, an action will be taken. So what action will be taken, that will be going to define here. But right now if you see the country the country value is blank, there is no countries, and the city is also blank. So we need to populate the country, and based on the country we need to populate the city. So this we will be going to do here now. So now first let's see how to populate the countries here. So to populate the country, this will be done by this. So in select option, we have already done this select option. After this select option, alright, so the method or the way of extracting the value from a pick list from within an object and populate on a VisualForce page is like this. Select, describe, field, result, status, field, description is equal to country underscore underscore C dot country underscore underscore C dot get and describe. And after that we write options dot add new select option, and first of all I want to add a default value, so I add a default value here. Select anyone, that is the select anyone, it's a standard, and then select anyone, that's the data and that's the value. So 2, and then I write a for loop because I'm not sure that how many countries are available or added in the object field. So I write schema dot pick list entry pick list entry colon status field description variable which we have defined dot get pick list values, and so it's a for loop, and yeah, and we'll add the extracted values in the options on the options. So I write option dot, sorry, it will be options dot add and new select option bracket pick list entry dot get value comma pick list entry dot get label. This 1 2. So once I've done this, if I save it and let's test this, so when I save it and run it, so you'll see the country, we have got the countries here. So these countries are we are getting this country from here itself. So India, UAE, China. So same countries are coming here, India, UAE, China, and that's the default value. Select anyone. So select anyone and save it. Select anyone. Now next is based on the country selected here, it will populate the city, and this city will also populate it from this particular country object. So for this we have to write the functionality or the program or the code within this get city obj. So here we need to write, and so I write here, we have already initialized a option here, list option. So I write list country underscore underscore C cities is equal to, I write SQL query here, select name from country underscore underscore C where country underscore underscore C equal to colon country, and then options dot add new select options, and first of all I add a default value. So I add a default value here, select city, that's the value, and then we need to add a label, select city, that's the label, and after that 2 brackets close, and then we run a for loop. We run a for country underscore underscore c colon cities, and then again we add this and copy this, paste it, and instead of this I use c dot name comma c dot name. So let's right. So once I run this, you can see here we have got the country here, we have got the country, and we have got cities. We have got cities here, but right now there are no cities. So when I select a city here, so you can see when I select the country here, you can see the cities are populating. That is the, so now I have made this particular field, the city, dependent on country, and based on the selection done by the user, the city field will be populated. Now next, we have to write the functionality for the save button. So for that we have this record insert function, and in this record insert function we are going to save the record into candidate object. So that's the code for this. So I have already done the code. So that's the code you can see here. Here we have initialized a new variable, new rect, and then we save the records. First name is getting from this name, mobile number is getting from phone, email ID, value is getting from email, country is getting from country, city is getting from city. Then we insert the record, and once the record is inserted, we clear this variable, and we use the page reference to transfer the control to or redirected onto the default page, and set the page redirect to false, and it will return the page. So once we've done this, and once we saved it, now we can create a record. So I can create a record here. Let's say name Tom, and email ID tom@gmail.com, mobile number, and I select the city India, New Delhi, and save that. Click on save. You can see that new record has been inserted here, candidate number C0006, and when I clicked on this, that's the record which we have inserted just now, country and New Delhi. So that's the end of this tutorial, and that's all in this, and I believe this video will help you to clearly understand how to make one field dependent on another field dynamically by using a VisualForce page. If you have any queries, you can visit our website www.bisptrainings.com. We are providing basic and advanced Salesforce training. So if you are interested, you can register on our website, or you can subscribe our YouTube channel. That's all. Have a nice day ahead. Goodbye.